So I'm just gonna let everybody know um, witchcraft does happen in the hair salon. I have my cosmetology license and I work in the hair salon for a short amount of time. So this was happening was I wanted to start my own clothing line and I needed money and I thought the best thing to do is to work in a hair salon so I will have time to work on my clothing line. So I was gonna do bartending, but I realized it would have been difficult for me because I have difficulty hearing people. So when you're working in the club and the music is in the background, it would have been very difficult for me to hear people. And I thought working in the hair salon would be better. I wouldn't be fatigued and tired in the evening. And it was something I was really good at too. I could do hair as well, so I'm very good at that. I'm very talented at it. And I thought it would be fun and it would be almost similar in the fashion, you know. So I wouldn't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I still would be doing something that I love. So I dive in. In New York State, it's only 1 year to get your license. And it was affordable at that time to get my cosmetology license. And based on financial aid, it would cover everything. So after I started the course, halfway into the school year, I realized it's something I didn't want to do. I miss fashion and I knew that I didn't belong there. Even though I was very good and I didn't want to do it. But I'm halfway in the course, I already paid my money, and I decided, you know what, let me just finish. So I finished the course, I got my license, and I decided to start looking for work. And I found a salon in Soho that took me in. So you start off as a shampoo girl before you could actually work with clients, and it take like 2 years. I already had the knowledge to work with a client. So they pay me, I think $50 a day, and I think I had to be there maybe 5 or 6 days a week. And when I got there, I was very, as I worked there during the day, I was exhausted, even though I didn't get that much clients. It was very physically draining, and I would not have time to work on my clothing line because it was too exhausted to work there. And we were not allowed to sit down. We had to stand on our feet the whole time. So when I started there, I noticed there was very something strange about the place. And I don't care, you know. I thought about it. I do care, but I thought about it, you know. And the salon that I worked for was Diva Curl in Soho, right? And we were not allowed to sit down. We had to be on our foot all the time. And it was very exhausting for me. I mean, not all salons are like that. You only be on your feet if you have a client. But in this salon, they wanted everybody on their feet, you know. And I feel it wasn't necessary. And if I didn't have to stand on my feet all day, I wouldn't be so exhausted. So when the strange thing I noticed about the place as I got to know people is that nobody left. And what's a big deal about that? In the salon, hairstylists do not stay long. They build up their clientele and they move on to the next salon to work in. That's just the nature of the business. So when I worked there, and most especially the assistants, they stay, and the pay wasn't good, and you only getting tips to shampoo people hair or to blow dry their hair. So I thought that was really odd. I was like, everybody who work here stay here. I was like, that's odd. Okay. And one day um the person who hired me, right, was the manager. She had three managers that worked there. It was two owners who owned the salon, one from Brazil and one from England. So when the owner from England saw me, she did not like me from the beginning, right? And what else happened? I swept by her station and I noticed she did something strange. I swept the hair and she said, no, 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 don't sweep there. And she picked up all the hair that fell on the floor and put it in her pocket. And I was like, what? To myself, I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, why is she collecting these people hair? Every client she did, she collected their hair, okay? And at the time, I told a friend of mine who was starting her own hair product, I say, is that, I say to her, I was like, are you supposed to collect people hair if you want to test your products like that? Because she also have her own hair products, and she written her own book. And she was like, you don't have to. You just make your products and you let the client know. And you just use your product on their head. But you don't collect their hair. And on her station, she had the elephant. And it's one of those elephants that you see in India. Those gods or those deity they worship. So I was like, okay. So, you know, I left because they hired a new shampoo girl to work there. And they gave her clients, and they did not give me clients. And they only would pay me for the first 3 months. After that, I had to depend on my tips. And my tips were really shitty, okay? The most I ever got on a tip was $20. And that was only one time for the 3 months I worked there. And the least I got on my tips were $2. So they made so much money. They made buku money. Cause at the time that I worked there, they charged $300 to do color, and the colorists get half of that money, and they charge $100 for a haircut. Okay, and one time they mixed my tips with another colorist whose name starts with the same letter as mine, and I gave her back all her tip money. She made about $250 that week on tips only. I, on the other hand, didn't make that much. I don't really remember. I'm gonna guess $20 I made for that week. And also because I wasn't really getting clients to wash hair. So it would have been very difficult for me to make money on tips only in that particular salon. And people who come there, I don't know why they come there. I'm not saying that the place were bad, but if they're giving me $2 tips, $3 tips, maybe if I'm lucky, $5 tips, They probably can't afford to get their hair cut or get their hair washed. They're just coming there. Maybe she had them under a spell. I don't know. But long story short, she had everybody under a spell that worked there. And they said, why did I want to leave? And I had tears in my eyes when I left. I said, I don't want to be here because I didn't like the fact that you had this girl and you start giving her clients. I was here for almost 3 months. And it was she was a white girl, okay? So they was giving her more clients than me. And they told me they're gonna give me a week to think about it, but I have to come back in a week. They're gonna let me have that week off, right? And she said, I think you'd be in a salon better in a slow pace. So I was like, yada yada yada. And this other manager, because she had 3 managers, she was a Jewish woman. And I say to her, don't you think it's strange for the boss to collect people here? I just asked her a question out of the blue. And then she looked at me and she come closer to me in my face. And she said to me, how do you think we make so much money at this salon? And I was like, okay. So basically she answered my question. They use witchcraft to make money at the salon. And look, it's not good when someone have your hair and they use witchcraft because they could F your life up like that. Your hair is your DNA. And they could change the course of your life just having your hair. Your hair is your power. You don't let nobody F your hair up. And another thing, I did cosmetology because sometimes when I go to hairdressers, and if they're not a good person and they touch my hair drop out. So that's why I do my hair myself. My hair fall out if people's hands are good. Like in the Caribbean, they say, oh, your hair fell out because that person's hands is no good. And if a person is not a Christian woman or not a good person and they touch my hair and do my hair start dropping out for no reason. So I am very funny and particular about who does my hair and my daughter hair. I don't play that. I don't like people messing with my child hair or my hair because I'm about taking care of my hair and growing my hair. I like to grow my hair long when I want to. My hair could grow very long if I allow it to grow. So pretty much it. Like, you have to be very careful when you're in the hair salon. Um, Witchcraft does have it. I call it witchcraft. Whether you want to call it voodoo, hoodoo, obia, santeria, it happens. So that's pretty much my story. Um, Watch out for people who do your hair. And if they cut your hair, make sure it's going in the trash, not in their pocket. After I left the salon, I contact one of the person who worked there, and she said that since I left, other people decided to left as well. Like when I got there, it's like I break the spell that was in that salon, because she not only had her clients under a spell who decided to keep coming to her, but she had the employees there under the spell, and they didn't want to leave, and they were miserable, they were unhappy, and I didn't understand why they didn't leave. There's so many hair salons in New York City, they didn't have to stay there. So that's pretty much my testimony and my story.